Today's workout is workout number 4 from the Progressive Strength Building series. We're still working for 45 seconds, resting for 15, but this time we're advancing on some of the movements you've seen in workouts 1 through 3, so make sure you've done those first. You can also increase your weight in this workout, although you don't have to. Consider light to moderate weights for upper body and moderate to heavy for lower body. A step is optional. Let's get started. Hey mamas, welcome to workout number 4 from our postpartum progressive strength workout series. So we're gonna work full body, starting with the lower body and then switching on to upper body. Make sure you have a couple different size weights. I have heavier for lower, lighter for upper body. I'm using 25 pounds and 15 each. We're gonna start with the lower body with a reverse Nordic curl. So come into a kneeling position, grab one dumbbell heavier. You want your feet just outside your hips and you're going to lean back, shifting your hips back toward your heels, and then drive through your glutes, come back to that starting position. So you're leaning back, firing those hamstrings, glutes, and quads. So I'll show you from the side here. Your knees, again, are under your hips, shifting back as far as flexibility allows until you start to kind of round your spine or feel the compensation happening. Slow and controlled here. It's not even about using a weight. This one, if you're doing it for the first time, I'd suggest even body weight here, but adding that weight will just add a little bit of resistance as you come up. So you really want to focus on the hip drive right here. Squeeze your butt and hold at the top. It's challenging, it's really tricky. Okay, now what we're gonna do is a heels up squat. So take one set of dumbbells, place them right next to each other, touching at the ends. Then grab another set, your heavier set, for your squat. Place your heels on the dumbbells that are on the floor and their other dumbbells up here at your collarbones. We're gonna squat down and then stand up. So your heels are on the dumbbells and your toes, the balls of the foot and your toes should be touching the floor. So you wanna make sure the balls and the toes are touching the floor here. So you're not just gripping through your toes. You wanna sit back and down just like a normal squat, but we add that little heel elevation to make it more challenging. We can feel that in the quads, right? So you wanna keep the weights nice and controlled. If they work better at your sides, that works too. I like them here personally. You can also do one dumbbell or no weights at all. And if you don't have an extra set, you could also use a book or something else to elevate your heels here. Squeeze the boot at the top, nice. All right, we're gonna move on to a curtsy lunge. So get the dumbbells out of the way and grab your heavier set, 1 or 2. We're gonna start with feet just outside hips and drive the right leg to the back corner for curtsy. So with the curtsy, we're gonna stay on one side and then we'll get the other. So we wanna step toward the back corner, touching the knee or just getting it close as you can to the floor. And we push through the heel of that front foot. Drive down, exhale as you lift. That's gonna engage the glute, help you fire your core to get that muscle contraction right where we want it. So we go to the back corner to get the hips, the side glutes here. And it's a really good exercise just for functional strength. We do a lot of pivoting, rotational movements in everyday life, especially with young kids, little babies. Rest. Okay, we're gonna repeat that on the other side if you want to. Place the dumbbells down, shake it out. I know it helps. Sometimes your grip gets really tired in these ones where we're doing lower body with heavier weights. Okay, back to that feet under hip position. Left leg to the back corner this time. Exhale, push down through that heel. The front heel, we want it to stay really grounded. That's gonna be our anchor for balance and also give us that connection to our glute. It's all about that front glute. And also the back quad is working, the hamstring. Slow and controlled, always better on these progressive strength workouts to challenge yourself with weight rather than speed. So I don't care how many you do. I want you getting to a point where it's challenging because of the weight, not because you're out of breath from cardio. Strength happens when you overload the muscle with weight. So you have to change your resistance to get that to happen. Okay, single leg deadlift. From this side, I'll demonstrate this one. So feet under the hips, we're gonna take the weights by your side, either 1 or 2. We're gonna shift the leg back toward hip level and then stand up, bring that leg back under hips. So you drive through the heel, toes are down, Stretching through the hamstring, squeeze your butt, stand tall. As you descend, make sure you're keeping those weights controlled and make sure you're keeping all four corners of that foot pressing into the mat. We want to avoid opening up the hips. So if you fall over just like I did, that's okay. Just get back into it. We just want to make sure, again, we're not opening to the side of that leg that's extended. So keep the heel up, toes down. Nice and controlled. And there's a little micro bend in my knee of that stationary leg. And that's gonna keep everything controlled, but also avoid me from straining that knee joint. Okay, quick shakeout. We're gonna repeat everything on the other leg. So this one, I want you to think, again, control. You might not get many reps at all because it is such a complex and challenging exercise. It takes a lot of focus. Let's shift into that other leg. And there's gonna be a few that are just really ugly. And that's okay. It's challenging, right? You're challenging your balance, your strength, your stamina. A lot of moving parts here. There's not many exercises that do all the things at once. This one covers all the bases, right? So be patient and forget about the reps. Just think about how are the muscles feeling, the hamstrings, the glutes, the core, the back. Are they feeling like, man, I'm emptying the tank? That's the goal. But doing it manageably and in a way that's uncomfortable, but you're still in control. Rest. Okay, single leg glute bridge. You can use a weight or not. Take one leg, we're gonna place it on the ground and the weight on top. Opposite leg is gonna go 90 degrees, knee over the hip or extend it out. We drive it up. So you want that weight on the leg on the ground because that's the side we're working. We're working that glute, hamstring, quad, and the deep core and pelvic floor here. So I'm just holding the weight here, but if that gets annoying, you can always just drop it off to the side. Using this leg to really get a longer lever here, or you can bend the knee. That makes it slightly easier and less intense for that back quad. Focus on exhaling at the top, driving the belly button toward the spine. We want to keep that deep core pelvic floor engagement throughout. We're overloading this glute. Couple more here. Nice. Okay, same thing other side, either with or without the weight. I'm gonna start with the weight, see how it goes, maybe lose it halfway through like I did last time. Glute bridges are such a great exercises to go back to, and you can play around with it, adding a lot of different things, a lot of different variations to make it more or less challenging. That's what I love about this. And again, you can always do this with a body weight option, with bands. I'm gonna lose that weight now. Sometimes if you find you're like losing range of motion, you're really not getting off the floor because you have a weight, lose the weight. It's better to get a little more range in this one than have a weight. And that's kind of the opposite of what I've been saying. But for this one, it's a little bit different. You want to hit that range of motion. Same thing though, in squats, for example, if you're really not getting deep enough in your squat, better to lose the weight. Okay, bicep time. So grab one weight only. Come to a kneeling position. One leg forward, same arm holds the weight. We want that elbow, tricep on the inside thigh. We're gonna curl that weight up, bringing it toward the shoulder and then bringing it back down, keeping the elbow in the back of the tricep, pressing into toward that inner thigh. So you want to keep that hinge forward position, back long and straight, chin tuck, eyes out ahead. That's going to protect the spine, and then that's also going to give us that hinge so the arm is fully extended and gravity is doing its thing right here. You can feel that tension in the forearm, and then how much harder does it make it to curl that weight up? That's what we want with the concentration curl. So bringing the forearm to the bicep, squeeze at the top, pressing the back of the arm, again, the whole time, and that also is gonna bring the intensity in this one. All right, good work. Same thing other side, we're gonna switch the leg, switch the weight, and it's great to work the arms unilaterally, individually, so we can work on muscle symmetry, stronger and weaker side. Exhaling on that curl. Again, really maintaining good posture. Even though we're leaning forward, we're not rounding the back. Try not to look up, try to look out about 6 feet in front on the floor. Spinal position is so important with things like deadlifts or exercises where you're in a hinge position. Let's see if we can get one more in. Nice, okay. We're gonna use that same set of weights, so your lighter set for preacher curls. So we're gonna come feet under hips. We're gonna bring the knuckles to the back, palms forward. We're gonna hinge forward from the hips, let the dumbbells hang, and then curl them up toward the shoulder line. So a similar movement, but this time we've rotated the dumbbells and we've got one in each hand. So both arms are working still unilaterally, but together. So knees to shoulders. Keeping that hinge position, just like we talked about, back long and straight, eyes out ahead on the floor about 6 feet in front. Squeeze and release. And gravity, you can feel that line of pull, right? The tension stays on even at the bottom of the exercise. We're doing good. Got a couple more in. We're working to get uncomfortable to that threshold where we feel like we want to quit, right? We do what it takes to get there. All right, tricep push-ups. Uh-oh, it's getting intense now. So narrow grip here. We want the hands just outside shoulders or just about shoulder width apart. Feet outside hips or on your knees. Hug the elbows in and then descend, bringing the chest to elbow level and then push up. Exhale on that push. Wrap the elbows in. So you want them close. That's not only gonna protect them, but it's also gonna keep that muscle tension in the tricep. Keep your body like a board here. Again, you can also bring your knees to the ground. But using that core to really control the movement. And of course, you can go a little bit faster if you feel comfortable. But I really want you to focus on intentional form, good technique throughout. Even as you fatigue, good technique is so imperative. Nice. Okay, moving on to tricep dips. So grab your bench, grab something that you can use for a dip. So you want your hips close to that bench, hands shoulder width apart, fingers forward, elbows back. Drop your hips down toward the floor and then drive them up. So you get a nice deep bend in the elbows and then push. Now make sure you're keeping your shoulders back and down. You're not going too low to where their shoulders are coming up, or again, you're causing some sort of shoulder issue here. We want to stay in control. Another alternative would be to sit on your bench or whatever it is, lean back into it, driving through the heels of your hands to push. But we only got a couple seconds, so let's get a couple more in. Woo! Probably my least favorite exercise of all time is tricep dips because they're tough, but they're so good. Grab that lighter set of weights now. We're going to a rear deltoid fly. So you're gonna hinge from your hip again, bringing the knees, plates to the knees or the dumbbells to the knees, and then open the arms wide, bring the arms to shoulder height. So you remember in the hinge position, right? We've got a long straight back, core tight, chin tucked. Then I want you to bring the knuckles up, squeeze the shoulder blades together, keeping the elbows a little bit soft. You might not totally get your arms straight, especially if you've got heavier weights here. It's gonna be challenging. You can feel the line of pull right here at the bottom. So we've always got tension on the back. This one's great for the postural muscles of the back, the shoulders, the core, and you can even feel it in the glutes, hamstrings. Again, get into that failure point. Can you get there? Good work. All right, keep those weights. We've got one more to do. I said dips are my least favorite. I think maybe this is it, actually. Arnold press. We're gonna bring the weights here, collarbones, palms facing you. Then we're gonna take the weights overhead, exhale, push up. Bring them back to the collarbones. Exhale, push to the top. So the Arnold press, we got that rotation of the shoulders to get the front, side, back of the shoulders, and the core as we take the weights overhead. Second option, keep the elbows up, 90 degrees right here. That's gonna keep the load in the shoulders the whole time so you don't get that little rest at the bottom. Do what challenges you, but know you are in the final 10 seconds now. So we gotta push. Couple more, guys. Last one together. Awesome. That was workout number 4 of our progressive strength series. I hope you all enjoyed it. Make sure to like and comment in the section below if you enjoyed it. I always appreciate your feedback, and your encouragement means a lot to me. So make sure to come back for our next workout, our 5th and final workout of this series, where we're gonna push the intensity and that threshold even further. I know you can do it. We've got this. I'll see you back here for our next workout together.